Hi, Mike Senna here, and here's my brand new Hasbro Interactive D-O. And what we're going to do today is crack this thing open and see what's inside of it. So I'm looking around on this thing. I'm going to first remove these antennae here because we don't need them. Looking around, all around this thing, I see this little thing here that looks like a little plastic circle that looks like it can be removed. So the wheel moves like this around that piece, and it seems to be connected to this piece right here. So there's screws under here. We see these. We can't really get to them unless we get this apart somehow. So this is the only place I can see right now that we can remove. So let's try to pop this off. I'm gonna just stick a razor blade in here and see if I can see it move. Look at that. Oh, there it pops off. You can see a little tiny tab here that goes into this little tiny notch. So we'll know where it goes back later. We see a screw here, so let's go ahead and unscrew it. It's not coming off any more than that. Looks like maybe, yeah, this is a little bit loose. Looks like it's popping off here. Oh, yeah, we got a big, giant, long screw that goes all the way to the other side. So I don't see anything here that really take off that makes any sense right now. Can this lift off? Actually, no, it's like this piece looks like it slides under this wheel here. So I'm gonna, oh yeah, there's a tab here. Oh, there we go. It came out. Oh, you can see there's glue right here, so some parts were stuck in. I guess I heard them pop. You might not have heard them pop. So we got this ring off. I don't know how that goes. Oh, look how loose that is. Okay, this looks like get in there somehow. So inside here, if you could see, there's a circuit board or something, and I see probably a controller board, but everything seems to be wiring, and there's a lot of wiring going into this wheel here. So there's 4 screws right here. I'm gonna try to take these 4 screws off and see if I can get inside this wheel that I'm guessing has a lot of electronics in the heart and soul of this guy to balance him and to make him stable. I'm guessing his battery's in there. There's got to be a drive motor in there for this wheel. Ugh. Okay, so I don't know how this comes off. Looks like this is wiggling a little more. Oh, there it goes. It's I can separate it right here. There you have it. This is the one side of the wheel with a bearing in there. Oh man, okay. We see right here, I could see the motor that drives the wheel. Let's see, and should be this guy right here. It's geared down. Oh, actually, Okay, so I'm gonna take this ring off because it's really bothering me. There we go. And when I look in here, I just see this one motor. And I see the gearing in between there that moves this giant wheel. And I don't see anything else that moves. So what I see is when this is sitting in its base, the wheel is being held in place so that when it moves, now it's moving the head or the neck or whatever you call this arm. And it looks like D-0 can look up and down. But when he's actually driving, he's going to be driving this wheel back and forth, and he's not going to be tilting his thing down. What he's going to be doing is tilting his head up and down like this. So what can we see? What else can we see here? I'm going to just try to get this separated. Okay, so we see a bearing, another bearing on this side. And what I noticed before here is this wheel right here that's connected to the motor. And I noticed that when I spin the motor, the drive wheel, it also spins this wheel. Is that spinning? Mm-hmm. And you notice that there's little grooves in this wheel. It works very much like the old-time mouse for your computer, or when you move the mouse ball, it moved a wheel very similar to this with a little infrared light that shone through here. What it's doing is it's each time this little windows pass the sensor, it knows how far the motor has moved and can feed that back to a circuit board that will then tell it exactly how much the robot is moving. And that's very, very valuable for speed control and also for balance systems. So right here, I'm assuming this looks like a type of gyro. So it will know where, electronic gyro will know part of the IMU where it's like knows where how it's balanced, and that will tell it, be able to help it keep its balance, a balance sensor. Then right over here we see the main circuit board, which everything plugs into. That's how you can tell it's a main circuit board. So the sensor for the movement sensor and the gyro will plug into the circuit board, and we see what everybody was interested in on the BB-8. This looks like the battery in here. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and remove this. Ooh. Remove that. And indeed, we see the lithium-ion battery. We can see some data here. It's upside down. Can you see those words?
No.
Says something like 500 milliamps, It's upside down. Let me give you it better so you can see that. There we go. That's what's inside of there. 3.7 volts, 500 milliamp hours. Go ahead and put that back on. Okay, back behind this metal plate, you'll see there's the charger port and this on-off button and some kind of reset button here. And you'll notice this cable, which has to control the head movement, goes up into the head from here all the way in there. We'll investigate that later. Behind this board, which I showed you before, but I'll show you again since I know what this is all about. It's just the board that's supporting and taking the inputs, the switches and things that's on this side, and just putting it through these holes and going to the main board here. There's a board back here, if you can see that one. And that's just mainly, looks like all the connections are going to this one. So this is kind of like just like a terminal thing where things go in and things go out. And it's just a neat way of securing it there. And so we'll follow this one up here. And we'll take this guy apart. So I'm just pulling out this last screw. I already did all these 4 screws. And, there we go. This comes right off. Oh boy, let's look in there. So, what do I see? Immediately I see some sensors here. I see something that looks like a LED here. Probably I'm guessing this emits a infrared so that if an object comes close to D-O, then these 2 sensors will pick up that infrared. I'm also guessing that this infrared, these sensors pick up the ball, and the ball infrared, and also give it direction depending on what mode this is in. What we'll see here is, see those little gears turning? When I move D-O's head side to side. So this big motor here, it looks like, kind of looks like a servo right here. And that's probably what it is. Since you don't need continuous rotation, your servo will give you limited movement back and forth. So that's where we see D-O's head. What's interesting also is this giant weight on this side of the head. Looks like it's for, of course, balancing all of this arm and everything else that's on this side to balance it straight over the wheel. And that's in this section. So this arm is basically fixed here and fixed here, and it just is just one rigid connector. This neck portion in here just moves the head back and forth. So now to break into this head, I find this one thing that, yep, has a screw in there. And I'm guessing we have 2 other ones, one here and one on the other side. So let me try to get these out. So I've been prying these stupid back ones out, and you can see what a mess I've made here, but it doesn't matter. I mean, you're never going to see these anyways if you're going to look at this. I'll smooth this out a little bit, but there's a screw in there. And you're not going to be able to dig them out very easy. It was just a horrible thing. And you jack them up pretty bad. But I dug them out. It took maybe half an hour of terrible hard labor doing this so you don't have to. So I'm going to unscrew this little screw. I'm going to unscrew this little screw. And I'm going to unscrew this screw here. And this better come apart. It's not going to make me happy. Okay. So you open up this head, and it's super irritating because there's one screw right here. It's keeping this top of his head on. And you just gotta jam your screwdriver in there, and it's just irritating as hell. And you get this one screw out. Then you can force this open. Now, what we see here and here is two lines. This is the speaker for D-0, so his noise comes out of here. And what's kind of neat is these look like rows of LEDs that were in here, but actually it's just a clear plastic, kind of like an arc like this. So each one is its own channel. And these LEDs are mounted here. So they shine through these tunnels of plastic. And these are circular cutouts. Let's see if you can see that. So those LEDs actually are probably 2 per hole, since there's only 3 holes. But that's how they simulate that without using that many LEDs, just with these 3 on the board. So as I was looking along here, we can remove these screws. 2 small ones. I do not even know why you would want to, but we'll do it here. And we can pull off this board that looks like it has some glue on it. Yeah. And we can see back here in the back of the head where these antennas squeeze together and move out. There's one motor here that really controls the whole thing. So when it moves up and down, there's a mechanism back here. I'm not going to show you, but once this plastic moves, it moves all the arms at once. So there's only one motor that pulls that up and down. Then there'll be another motor here that tilts the nose front and back, and does other effects. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn this thing on, and hopefully it won't move and shake itself apart and start pulling wires out, because that would be bad. but you'll see D-O come to life. So there's his LEDs lighting and his head movement. Now if you get in closer, you can probably see some of the motors moving, and just head movement. You see those motors going. So D-O is moving his head just like that. So you're going to get rotation of his head this way from the top, and also rotation. Oh boy. To stop that main motor from running, you can just tilt it over. It simulates that he just fell over. So, and then he'll stop moving. So we have at least 3 motors on the top. What this does is let him look from side to side. It tilts his head forward and backwards. I'm going to turn him off. So the 3 motors tilting forward and back, up and down, side to side, and then antenna squeezing. And we see these 3 motors here, 1 in the front and 2 right here. I'm not going to get too far into this because it's really complicated up here. I see a little, all different kinds of gears up here. Even you can see this one right here. It's kind of like a rack. And this rack gear just goes back here. So that, of course, probably is the tilt of his head up and down, and then the ones that go side to side, and again, operate his antenna there. And then the speaker, of course. So that's what this board up here looks like. It controls the lighting, and the motors. But of course, everything goes through this black wire down into the main circuit board. And you see this white one right there? This is totally fake. It's just a piece of plastic that goes into here. So it looks like it's something, but it actually isn't. So I guess that's it for this deconstruction of the D-O. And hopefully I'll be able to put it back together again. But I did this so that you don't have to. And you don't have to struggle. Look at all these little pieces of plastic just all around. This is just from the stupid head I had to dig out from here and here. But don't do this yourself, and that's why I did it for you. So I'll see you later, and I hope that satisfied some of your curiosities like it did mine. And we'll see you again in our next video.